You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel.
We present Double Act by Trisha Bracher with Juliet Vaughan-Turner, Holly Galanders and Ian Sterling.
Or you can stop here, wait till the newspaper fellas find you.
Whitby is suddenly looking like a marvellous prospect.
I don't think you could bear Uncle and his Beethoven.
Does anyone else know anything about me?
I nearly told Fred about the teapot.
I knew, even as I threw it, that it was the end.
I'd better go. There's an old lady next door with terrible gout.
Did you say I had a funny turn?
I think you should try to be gay. Have a foxtrot for me. I may step out myself and mother be jiggered.
You are wildly daring, man. Will you come again?
Yes, Mrs. Shepherd. I shall keep a special eye on you.
What an uncomfortable bed. How long did you say you had been here? 10 days? You have been suffering.
It is an hydropathic hotel. One is not always supposed to be comfortable.
They ought to consider their more elderly inpatients.
There are some quite young people here.
For Yorkshire, I suppose, yes. I hear they cling on to a magnificent age.
I'm told the air is very bracing.
Then you have not been, as they say, out and about?
I have been doing a lot of crosswords.
So you came to solve a big puzzle.
I came to get some repose.
And now you are fully rested?
They provide Turkish baths.
Sounds like agony.
The person has to remove all of their clothes.
How oriental.
Oh, it is the purest bliss, like being lost in a dream.
I stand corrected.
I see you have retained your habit of keeping shoes on in bed.
I am not in bed, I am on bed.
I'm sure the general public will not revile you. What they do not know cannot hurt them.
You are rather close to the window, should you wish the general public to see you in all your glory.
I have been quite gay.
It is said that you have been ballroom dancing.
Then your reports are false. I have been performing the Charleston, quite modern series of movements.
With your bunions?
I am told I am very nimble.
Indeed.
You've had plentiful account of my activities?
I have been apprised of your comings and goings.
And yet you elected to remain down in Surrey all week.
Poor little Ginger was afraid to inform the constabulary.
Ginger? Oh, she has a beautiful, tinkling voice.
Like the worst kind of alarm clock.
I understand she has gone to London. There, a gentleman of her acquaintance proposes to make her a star.
I do not think it shall come to much.
You're very sure on this point, regarding a matter about which you know astonishingly little.
She proposes to gain some fame from this late difficulty, I imagine. I fear all she will accrue is a debt of notoriety.
Poor Ginger.
An appalling name for show business. She sounds and looks more like a pudding.
A woman with talent may yet alter her identity. When did you know?
When did I know what?
Where I had arrived.
Does it matter?
Detail in such things, as you know, has always been a strong point of mine.
This morning.
You were perhaps awoken by a telephone call.
I was awoken by a knock at the door. A local constable with pressing news.
Then you were informed in person.
I imagine it were considered a trifle ill-advised to furnish no moral support in this matter.
Ill-advised?
Members of the press have endeavoured to accost me all week, while I am about my business. Do you suppose the wheels of industry halt for a local misfortune? They have surrounded the house.
Then you were at home.
I should hardly have taken a night out on the town.
And what did she make of this regrettable interruption to the smooth running of her affairs?
Miss Shepherd has been greatly disturbed, and I would ask you not to...
Disturbed, indeed.
If you mean to put her on trial, then rest assured that she has already been convicted in certain circles.
It's an occupational hazard, I suppose.
Miss Shepherd is an honourable woman.
Is she not rather a girl? Such a tiny waist. I suppose she might fly away if not fastly secured.
She is staying with her parents.
Oh, she is fortunate, then, to have a mother and father both alive.
Upon whom no small amount of disgrace has been heaped.
So many needless victims of our passion. It is passion, I suppose.
It is a great and true companionship.
How affecting.
This is a brand new handbag. It has a zip.
Had you ever considered a career with a constabulary?
You always maintained you disliked zips.
Then you do occasionally listen to my diatribe.
You said you found them ugly and cumbersome.
Is it not a marvellous feature of humanity that we may change our minds? And when she gets old, what then?
She is 29, I believe.
I fear she is closer to 27. Girls change so much at that age, both in their minds and in their outward form. Should she become matronly?
I do not know what you dare to speak of.
You are questioning my rights.
Miss Shepherd is the least of my worries in all this.
Oh, how lovingly you utter her name. If only she were as pastoral as she sounds.
If it had not been her, then it would have been another.
How thrilled she will be to learn of this. Miss Shepherd, while you are a wonderful companion, if it had not been you, then it would have been another.
You delight in your characters.
They are regularly more real than the flimsy creations I find hereabouts.
And do you suppose this is a quite normal phenomenon?
In what regard?
In the matter of your mental health?
Then it is true that I am fully distracted.
Is it possible that you have in some manner lost your faculties?
Lost? As in mislaid? As in something that one may have dropped while meandering through a country lane?
Your car is quite safe.
Oh, good girl. She remains loyal.
Although she has been examined for traces of blood.
How macabre.
They supposed me to be the murderer.
Well, the police or the press? Perhaps the whole population.
What had you proposed to do had I not come?
Oh, I'd quite given up on you. I followed some of the livelier reports in the newspapers. Turns out I've been living as a man. You don't think I'd make an admirable fellow? All it would take, surely, is a change of hat.
I see we are still meandering in the realms of fantasy. Don't worry, there hasn't been a terrible murder. No one got hurt, did they?
Do you suppose they are listening?
I suspect the whole world is listening.
You did not bring a weapon to kill me entirely, then, other than publicity.
I fear you rather brought the hordes upon yourself.
Do you not know where I was going?
You left no forwarding address.
Did I not leave some clue as to my destination?
I do not recall any such conversation.
You do not recall my speaking to you of the waters? The curative waters?
Perhaps.
And your first plan was to call the police?
Plan? Do you suppose that everyone has a plan? That every day is implotted to give a neat beginning, middle, and end?
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
That is very strange for a lady novelist.
You refer to me in the third person.
Must you analyse everything?
I was not always so...
Ah, the tales of childhood, your fairy upbringing in that house full of ludicrous wallpaper.
You do not have to mock.
Do I not? You have retreated there many a time when I had wished for adult conversation.
I do not remember.
And now you will accuse me of not talking as well as not listening.
Did we not once enjoy...
I recall a certain levity.
Then could we not?
With your black moods?
Am I not regularly lively and gay?
When your books sell, when you secure that shrieking success you crave.
It is I who am hysterical.
And when the world would not adore you for your silly little mysteries, you elected to make of my life a perfectly nasty horror story.
Horror story?
I did not mean it.
There is a coastline nearby that is perfectly gothic.
Do you suggest I throw myself off?
What if I had died on that road?
Which road?
The little meandering lane but a few miles from our home. Suppose I had died on that little lane in Surrey.
Now we are supposing. As if we do not have enough present troubles.
Suppose I had died on that perilous bend. Less steady ladies than I might have tumbled into the lake.
It has been dredged.
Oh, how reassuring. What are your own feelings?
My feelings?
As they dredged the lake. Surely you did not expect to find me tangled up in weeds.
I had imagined that perhaps a drowned puppy might be found, or a lost treasure from the time of King John.
I trust you were not so facetious on the day.
Do you know what it is like to have every passing fellow suppose you a murderer, making gentle supportive remarks with his mouth while harbouring a quite different proposition in his sordid little mind?
Then are all men alike?
Have you been facetious during the whole of your holiday? Has it been this easy to maintain a fiction throughout? A lie will tumble into another lie, and before long we are swimming in deception.
A marvellous summary of your sojourn with her.
Did I not ask you to refrain from...
Of course! She is sacred. One must not disturb the peace of the innocent, or at least the youthful. What age is she again?
I believe she is 28.
And you have communed at last in detail. What is her favourite colour? Does she favour beef or lamb, a 4-iron or a 5-wood? Such decisions!
You would wish me to be miserable?
With me? I must be the most dreadful bore, albeit one who has attracted international interest.
There was a time when you would put on roller skates.
Oh, so this is all about my mode of transport.
There was a time when you would have fun.
And this may only be achieved on 4 wheels? I am sorry I left my car in a ditch.
You pretend not to take my meaning.
I would still have you tell me what to do. To comprendre, c'est tout pardonner. To understand all is to forgive all. It is French.
Could you not have rendered this in plain English? There is a time.
Yes?
There is a time when one may undo the damage. And there is a time when the damage is done.
When? When was the damage done?
I think you have an intimation.
When you would not get a job?
When I could not get a job for love nor money. When all my sacrifice, all my service for king and country counted for nothing.
You were a little too proud.
Would you have had me to your husband if I had been an office backroom boy?
She is a typist, is she not?
I have begged you not to...
I do not recall any such act of supplication.
I had preferred my discussions with the detectives. They are less thorough.
I've offended you. I apologise. I have called into question your most sincerely held beliefs.
Go on.
I could not say.
Oh, very good.
Of course, I recall your black moods quite differently when you would not speak to me for hours.
You were writing in your room, petting that blasted hound.
I would ask you not to bring Sir Roger into this.
Of course, he is sacred.
They say my secretary has been taking care of him.
She will be feeding him endless doggy treats in reward for his constant barking. That
Can you never refer to him by his own true name?
There is no compulsion on God's earth that will cause me to refer to that canine as if he were the lord of the manor.
I wonder if she has witnessed you in such a state of levity.
She knows me tolerably well.
Excellent news! How did she feel when they were first dredging the lake?
Ah, the twists and turns of your mind.
Like a country lane, is it not?
She was deeply concerned.
I am touched. Was she hovering eagerly by the waterside?
She was with her parents. I had returned home.
To my home or her home?
Our home.
The one I paid for so that you might be closer to her.
I recall that we shared some of the costs.
But you do not deny the motive.
I surrender myself, guilty on all charges.
I remember how hard you worked. Late into the night, spending hour after hour in town, so that I should not be the sole breadwinner. Labouring so that your weekend should be free for country pursuits.
You had the dog?
What a great comfort he is.